Welcome to Money Conversations, a weekly experiment in money exploration rather than money solutions. These are mini interviews with all kinds of people about where they are right now with money. I'm Megan Potter, and this week's money interview is with a dear friend and client, Ellen Ercolini, who is a business strategist over at ellenercolini.com. Hi, Ellen.
Hello, Megan.
Thank you for being willing to sit in the hot seat and do these money interviews with me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here.
I'm
It's my
super
first time.
excited. Okay, so the interview is mostly meant to be spontaneous and led by your subconscious rather than what your mind thinks is the right answer about money. So I'm going to ask you some questions which you have never seen before, and we're going to see what answers come up.
Okay.
Okay, I say money and you say,
Power.
oh, nice. I say money and you feel,
Contraction, expansion. Like in my belly.
both at the same time.
It was like,
So first you contract
and then it was like really expansive.
and then it opened back up. Interesting. What I really want from money is,
Opportunities
wow,
and possibilities.
yeah. Tell us one significant money memory or story. It might be good, it might be bad, but when I say that, what is the moment that rises up?
Like, like many. Many. But the money, I guess the money memory that I have is back when I was in my early 20s, I decided I needed to get out of town for a while. I needed to kind of run away from home, kind of explore the world on my own. And I started saving money. I just decided about a year in advance I was going to do this. And I started making every decision based on saving money for this adventure travel in the future. I didn't know what it was going to turn out to be. I didn't know what it was going to look like. I moved in with my aunt for a while to save money on rent. I got some extra part-time jobs. I already had a full-time job. All of my decisions were based around saving money for this trip.
Yeah.
And when it came time to go, I had a good chunk of change. And I remember everybody being like, oh, like we could never afford to do that. Like, oh, I couldn't do that. Like, oh, that's too much. And I just remember
Wow.
thinking like, yeah, but I decided this a year ago. And then I just kind of like aimed myself there. And it was the first experience that I had with money that both kind of put me at a distance with other people. Like it set me apart in some ways. And it
Yeah.
also showed me that maybe it's not as hard as everybody thinks.
Oh,
You know,
interesting.
like 'cause
Yeah.
there was a lot of like, this is hard and this is heavy. And like, whoa, good for you. Like, oh my gosh, like you're so impressive and inspirational. I was kind of like, yeah, but also I just like did what needed to be done, which is I know a very Ellen way of looking at it, but I don't know, it just really told me it wasn't quite as hard as other people thought it was.
Ah, interesting.
And then when I was down there, I was in South America and I ran out of money, sort of. And right in the moment where I was like, shoot, like what's going to happen? Without even, and I had never really heard of manifesting or energy work or any of this stuff. I was just like, huh, this is interesting. I got an opportunity to work on some organic farms, so I didn't really need to pay for housing. And then I had an inheritance come through, which I completely wasn't expecting in my whole life. And it was like just the right amount of money I needed to finish my trip and get home and kind of start life back here in the United States. And I don't know, just those three things of like, it's not as hard if you kind of point yourself towards a goal and really decide it's not as hard. And then things, when you're really, like things come together, you know, like things find a way of coming together. And I
Yeah.
think that was one of the first times I had to really be open to more without having any vocabulary for it. And it just worked out. And it's easy to be like, oh, it just worked out, but it didn't. I was part of that
Yeah.
experience.
And are those truths from that story still impacting how you show up with money today?
Kind of. It's one of those things that I have to remind myself to be like, oh yeah, you did that. And you have that access, you know,
Right.
and you have that access to disassociate. Because I feel it now. I'm older now, you know, like I'm in my early 30s and I feel that heaviness that other people were feeling when I was in my mid-20s getting ready to take this trip. And I have to remind myself, like, it's only as heavy as I make it. Not to say it doesn't have consequences, right? Like, I need to pay my rent, but it's only as heavy as I make it. I can make it feel light, and I can set myself up for the type of adventure that I want to have.
Yeah.
But it's one of those like things that have to be like, oh yeah, I did that. Oh yeah, you still have access to that. Like that was before you even knew any of this stuff. Like
Right.
this has always been part of it.
Interesting.
Yeah. The other money story, just really quickly, that comes up when you
Yeah.
said story is my, and I feel a little funny talking about this on the internet, but it's really what came up first. Is both my parents had really different ways of talking about money, really different, and they would sort of ping pong back and forth off each other, you know. And I feel like those are stories that are still really impacting how I see money today, where it's just like, you know, we need to save and be responsible for the future, but then like you need shoes and like pants and we need to spend the money now and like it'll work out. And just I feel that money story still very much affecting my present day.
Yeah. We all are, right, affected by all our money stories, our own and our parents, but we don't see them all the time.
Yeah.
How often do you pay attention to your money?
Like bank accounts and stuff.
Yeah.
Gosh, 2 or 3 times a week.
Really?
Yeah, I go in and I track and I see what's going on and, you know, adjust. I have a lot of auto payments because that I find helps me save better and
Yeah.
set myself up for adventure. But then I like to really track what's coming in and then what's going out. And I have to admit, I am much better at checking on my business bank account money than my personal bank account.
Interesting.
Yeah, because that feels, I don't know why. I'm a solopreneur, right? It's only
Yeah.
me. Like I'm single, so I'm the only person in charge of both checking accounts. But my business account, it's like this very like nurturing, fulfilling, like, ooh, what's here? Oh, I spent this, but that's so great. Like that's such a good investment. Like I feel so clear on all of it. And then my personal account, I still feel a little bit like I check it weekly,
Yeah.
but I feel a little bit more like tension around it. It's not quite as like open.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Did you always check them that much and work with them that often, or was that something you taught yourself?
No, this has been a learned skill. I used to be really, really avoidant,
Yeah.
like massively, and it sort of worked. It would like work out, right? Because I would always have enough, so I wouldn't. It would be like, oh, there's nothing there. That's fine. But all that does is feed my fear of not enough, and also not anchor me in the fact that holy moly, like I do have income, I do have money, I have a savings account. This is really amazing and beautiful. It kept me really in the fear and the denial of
Yeah.
both the wonderful things that I had, but also this like fear of what I don't have. So
Yeah.
the more I anchor into it and I spend some time with it and, you know, love it and appreciate it and thank it and bless it and all that wonderful energetic relationship building that I do with it now, really helps the fear in my brain and helps me not be avoidant and helps me be like, yeah, I'm having a skinny month, but I know it's in my savings account and I know what I need to pay my bills and I know what's projected to come in over the next couple of weeks. So like, this is fine. And that's part of that tension of being in business for yourself, right? It's like, how do you ride those contractions and expansions without freaking out and shutting everything down? And so the more I pay attention to it, the more grounded I am and the easier that's all become.
Yeah. Awesome. Ellen, I want to thank you so much for being willing to share all of this with us and let us see into your relationship with money. And if those of you watching want to join in the money conversation with and about your money, you can comment on this video, you can share it, you can subscribe to the channel, or you can raise your hand to be the next person in the hot seat to be interviewed for your own money conversation. Thank you so much. Bye.